historic and legendary. Not to mention it reintroduced a shoe that is the basis for VANS, the vulcanized era shoe that he wore in that shot. It's basically, you know, part of the roots and the tree that VANS is built on. And yeah, I'm just super stoked to be a part of this and to come up here. I'm presentable, of course, tonight. If you're a presenter, you better be presentable if you're going to be a presenter, right? So I'd like to thank Serge Blanco for my collaboration with him, the White Lotus. See, I go straight into promoting myself. That's the way we run it in skateboarding. No, but back to Geoff. I mean, he's a pioneer. They break the mold when they make guys like Geoff Rowley. I'm a huge Beatles fan. He's from their hometown. He went to the same school that John Lennon went to. A lot of people don't know that about Geoff, but I know that because I talked to Geoff about things like that. And yeah, Mercy beats. Mercy is the river, and the beats is the way that Liverpool, the heart of that city, goes to a beat. And Geoff Rowley brought that beat here to California to be a professional skateboarder. He's a professional skateboarder on and off the board. That means he's an ambassador, not only for VANS, but for all his sponsors. Flip, all of the things that he's involved in. I mean, if you don't know the story, you're going to find out real quick, because Geoff Rowley, he's the guy. He's not with Flip anymore, but... Okay, we're going to flip it. We're going to land blindside. And blindside means we're going to put a blind eye to Flip, but at the same time we're going to take progress, not perfection, take it to the next limit. And the next limit for me basically is that I just want you guys to know that Geoff is like one of my favorite skateboarders. One of the best things that I ever did in my life was one day Geoff Rowley and I just took a walk through the desert in New Mexico, and we looked for ditches to skateboard, and just it was the most beautiful day ever, with just the puffy clouds we only did in New Mexico, and we were looking for spots to skate, like some extreme crazy stuff, just walking around like two just soldiers, you know. And it was amazing. It was like a spiritual journey, but at the same time we were connected through being brothers, and that's skateboarding. And the other thing we were connected through was that we didn't care how gnarly it was or whether we found a spot or not. We just wanted to go out and be on an adventure together. And what happened was, the bottom line was, I had Eric D with me in tow. But that's my boy too, I love that guy. He's right here in the front row. And Eric grabs his camera and turns around. Well, everybody has a camera on him nowadays, except for me. I don't carry a cell phone with me because I mean, I got enough radiation going down in the lower tethers as it is, being a surfer from Santa Monica, so why would I want to put a cell phone in my pocket? A little bit too much information, right? But anyways, Eric takes this picture of us hanging out on the top of the ditch. And it's just a memorable moment that I can just take back and go, yeah, I was right there with Geoff Rowley, right there, like hunting for ditches. And he enjoys doing what he does. He's an outdoorsman. He's a family man. Geoff Rowley, I mean, the guy. The man. Yeah. So thank you, Geoff, for having me. The gift of gab is carrying me away, so it's your turn.
Testing, 1, 2, 3. Thank you, Tony. You mean everything to me. And you went to Liverpool in 1978, is that right? You went to Liverpool in the 70s. That impacted me.
I did a tour of all of England, and I went to some of the seedier parts of England, like, you know, I was out in Blackpool, I was out in the north, up in Huddersfield of all places. What was I doing in Huddersfield of all places?
I don't know what you're doing there, you shouldn't go there. But
yeah, definitely not at night.
But Tony, my best friend growing up, his name was Andrew Warrington, his nickname was Fezzo, he rode for Z-Skates. His favorite skater was Tony Alba, Jay Adams. So in the 90s, when everyone wanted to wear the same clothes they're wearing now, which by the way sucked for skating in, most of it, he schooled me on you and Jay Adams. Like, just the approach to skating. And it impacted me just hugely. I want you to know that, first and foremost, that it came from a close friend of mine who was still my best friend. And that affected my skateboarding big time.
Thank you.
It affected everybody's skateboarding big time, but mine in particular.
Well, you know, I think that the history of skateboarding, you know, it goes through different decades and different eras, and just like why we call our shoe the era. You know, that era was significant to our growth. And where I started and where Geoff took skateboarding to and what it's done for the future is evident because of the fact that we're all contributing something in the moment to the future of skateboarding, and Geoff has a significant part in that. And so if anything was taught or learned or carried on from my generation, that's exactly what it is that he's about progress and he's about taking it to the next level. And that is something that is timeless, you know? It's amazing.
Thank you. Appreciate that so much. The fact that Tony Alva's here doing this, I'll die happy.
Believe me, it was a last-minute gig, but you don't say no to Liverpoolians, especially the fact that, number one, I'm telling you, this kid, I knew him when he was like about this tall, you know, and he was like just a little Gronk from, you know, from across the pond. And look at him now. I mean, full-grown man and a representative of something that I really believe in. I believe in sticking to your roots. I believe in staying close to the heart and soul of skateboarding. That's what VANS is to us. You know, and that's why y'all are here being a part of this, because you're part of that family, if not for one night, for life. And we're lifers. So if we're lifers, you're locked in, man. It's like being at San Quentin for skateboarding. You're locked in.
It comes with all the bells and whistles too, some of them not so hot.
We're going to have Johnny Cash come out and probably do the cocaine blues after this.
So what are we doing now? What the?
We're gonna. I know Mike Burnett's gonna be around somewhere. So
what's going on?
We're gonna pull him in and get my ass off the stage. That's for sure. Mike also Thrasher magazine, 20 years. Not to mention what he's done to contribute to skateboarding. He's a legendary photographer. He's worked with the legendary Jake Phelps, doing some crazy shit, which has taken skateboarding like to a place that never would have went before, mainly because of the fact that Thrasher is the only thing left in print right now. That's it. I mean, there's Juice magazine, but they come out with one issue a year. I'm not dissing Juice. I'm just saying, like Thrasher magazine, that takes some work. And Mike's been a part of that, and that's very respectable as well as very productive. And anybody that puts like time and energy into like the heart and soul and telling the story of skateboarding, I mean, there's controversy here and there, but nobody gets really caught up in that. What we try to do is that in affiliation with the media is we're going to bring you skateboarding right into your house. We're going to bring it right at you. We're going to get it on your face, you know? And that's what Mike Burnett does. Get skateboarding on your face, you know? And he's just like, he's the guy. And so, yeah. Next we're going to class with Mike Burnett. Thank you, Tony.
All right. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Okay. What I like to do is look at photos and tell stories and jokes. That's what I like to do with my friends. I met Geoff Rowley about 20 years ago. At the time, 21 years ago. At the time, he was one of the most progressive, exciting, spectacular, professional skateboarders, and I was a dipshit from the Midwest who could barely use a camera.
Actually, my end of that story, Mike, is that in Southern California, nobody that worked for Thrasher Mag had a sequence camera. Nobody had a sequence camera. And
I had the sequence camera.
I was halfway through, or I'd shot all the stills for my Thrasher interview, or most of them, with Dan Sturt, who's here, who probably hates them saying this, but I love you, Dan. I shot most of them with him, but there was no one to shoot sequences, and no one lived in Southern California, and the first time I shot with you, I do believe that was why.
So picture me, novice photographer, showing up at the session with DS and Geoff Rowley. That was my team. Very, very intimidating.
I didn't quite see it like that, though.
Yeah. I remember I tried to make small talk. I said, hey, how do you... And he goes, I don't give lessons. And that's been our relationship ever since. Okay, so we're going to do a slideshow. These are some of my favorite photos with Geoff over the years. I did not shoot the Staples Center photo, although I would have loved to. So here we're gonna start. We're starting it up. Hold up. All right.
What's up, buddy?
My teeth look pretty good.
How long have you been in the States now?
July 2nd, 1994.
Still hanging on to those English teeth.
I'm knocking them out one by one, Mike. Like, if you want to be truthful.
There he is. Okay, we're in. We're in. Okay. One of the first times I met Geoff, he goes, "Guess what? You don't know, but I'm riding for VANS." And I'm thinking, what about Airwalk? Airwalk's pretty good. You want to fuck? It's like, nah, I'm riding for VANS. And at that time, the shoes all looked like Battlestar Galactica. It was a space race of footwear, each more layered and complicated than the next, including the Waffle Squad, although we don't talk about that. And then, Geoff, he wants to skate in what seems like a joke at the time. Like, it's hard to explain to go back to the future, but the old guys will verify this with me, but like the idea that you would skate in these shoes was crazy because we've been sold on airbags, technical whatnots, tongues of shoes that were as big as bedspreads, and then this. So he had me shoot this photo, and I was shooting the photo, and Jamie Thomas goes, What the fuck are you doing? Don't do that. To Geoff, and Geoff's like,
I don't remember that at all.
Here's the photo. Tell us.
Oh, I remember that vehicle.
What was the breather?
That vehicle, the engine was off. We went to the skate spot, and as we were walking to the skate spot, the engine turned itself on. That's one story. What the fuck? But that's the best story I have about that one, Mike. I have no idea what pictures you showed. That thing was crazy. We had like 20 engines in that thing. That was the ultimate skate van, the very first ultimate skate van.
That was his first skate van in California, the Breather, a.k.a. the Shit Breather, a.k.a. the Late Night Bandit. It was good for getting to spots or late night rendezvous.
I think that's Ali Bulala.
That is Ali Bulala in the vest. All right, so in the beginning, I couldn't get a photo with Geoff Rowley. I didn't know him, so I had to go to the contest. This was 20 years ago in Huntington Beach. This is the same thing, 20 years later. And there he is, and I got the photo, and I got my first photo of Geoff in Thrasher magazine. Wasn't I clever?
You should have photoshopped some indies on them.
Put some tracker copers on those.
Yeah.
And then never, not controversial. Okay, let me put... This was street skating was
Why not? You know why I had that shirt?
Because there was 9-foot spine ramps on the street course.
Thank you. That's true. It was literally a vert course for a street contest.
He's never been afraid to speak truth to power, and that's why he's still here. All right, I went on an Osiris tour. Dave Mayhew was there, Canteen Russell, the whole gang. Just turns out Geoff was there at the same time. I shoot a photo with Geoff at the demo. That's the opener of the article. Needless to say, I got a mean call from T-Mag, and I was never invited on another Osiris trip again.
Which you're extremely happy about.
All right, here's the good shit. All right, so then I'm out, and I'm like, I had not seen a lot of live street skating. And Geoff did this. Did you do this 3 times in a row, maybe?
7 times.
He just churned it out, and I was like,
I'm about 7 times in a row, but I know I did it 7 times for you because I think you didn't know how to use your sequence camera.
Well, it was a slower camera. It was the slower one. And I saw him do this, and I was like, oh my God. Like, this was like next level exciting. I was like, I made it. Thank you. Here we are at UCI, another one where I'm just like, is this safe? Are we going to be okay?
That's a direct influence of Tony Alva. That way of skating. And like at the time everyone would make fun of Feebles and Smith grinds and shit. People weren't really doing that. Templeton was doing them well. Right? So those kinds of tricks I was never that good at, and I wanted to learn hurricanes and stuff because it felt like a slash. It felt like I was slashing the handrail. That's what it is. That's Tony Alva.
And then you spent a lot of time at this spot with this guy.
Yeah, I've seen that thing a lot.
How did you meet Ed Templeton?
I was living in Huntington Beach. I've been there for maybe, I don't know, a couple of weeks. And he came over on a brown bicycle in the middle of the night, in the dark, over to our apartment.
Yes, he did.
It was really uncomfortable and strange, piercing eyes like a bird, like an ostrich with a big beak. And yeah, but I got on with him right away. Like, Ed Templeton's one of the best skateboarders ever. I fucking love the dude. But we had the same sense of music, style, like right away. I knew that, like, because I wasn't comfortable living in America. I'm from North England. I felt uncomfortable riding down the street. This guy made me feel comfortable, made me feel welcome in the United States. And to boot that, he was one of my favorites growing up too.
Yeah, what was it like to meet your idols? What was it like to come to California and next thing you know, you're friends? You're seeing Tony Hawk at Safeway.
It depends who it is, right? Some of them blow your brain out and you wish you hadn't spoken to them, but this guy did the opposite. He made me stoked, you know? And I think Ed wasn't always as accepted, right?
Yeah.
Not as always accepted, but he accepted me, and I loved him for that.
A classic tale of oddball finds oddball. That's how it used to be. I was skateboarding.
It was that. It was the love of skateboarding and music that we had in common, you know?
He's the best.
That, and he needed to kick up his ass because his street skating was good, but when you really push him, he's great.
Yeah, he loves.
I enjoyed doing that, poking at him.
He was the first guy I gave an unironic high five to, because me and my friends, we didn't high five. And then he was high five, and I was like, maybe that looks like fun. Maybe I'll do that. Just laid into it.
He has the biggest middle finger in the world.
Yeah, that thing.
Gives you a middle finger, it freaking hits the roof.
Here's some early stuff with Geoff. I always had to come up with a scam to get the top level talent to do stuff with me, so I'm like, the Hosoi Hammerhead article. This is when people were riding 7-inch wide boards, so I got out a Hosoi Hammerhead and let the top pros ride it. And as you can see, he wasted no time. This was the sketchiest one. This is a terrible photo, but he did a 360 flip down the big stairs at UCI, and look at this plank. Doom. 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 The ride-away's great. Doom. Oh yeah. Here we go. And I knew he could ride anything after that. He could 360 flip a laundry basket.
I'll give it a shot. That thing was a plank, wasn't it? As flat as a pancake. Is Christian here?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those were the counterfeit ones. Those must have been the counterfeit ones. All right. Another thing that was really scary to me was seeing dudes really, really slam hard. And that was another thing that I was exposed to with Geoff Rowley. Like other guys, it's like you get a heel bruise, you go home. Geoff would die. Oh shit. Technical guy?
Technical difficulties. Do we need to take a break? Put the curtain down.
We lost it. Yeah, hold on. We'll get there. We'll get there.
Got any family photos on there?
Brand new one. Okay, we got that. Okay, we're back. So here is the famous photo from the famous clip in Geoff's video, and I thought this was lost forever. I looked for it forever, and yesterday Geoff's like, "Did you shoot that fakey 5-0 slam?" And I'm like, "Why, yes I did." He's like, "I have the film right here." So this is straight from yesterday. Dead. There's Molly, McCurdy.
Auto filming.
There he is, human Dracula. But the thing was, I never saw anybody slam that hard, and he's continued to do it consistently his entire career. But that, it's like, if you really want it, you got to go for it. How's your pain threshold?
I don't have one.
I believe it.
I don't want one. Well, imagine if I did have one, it'd be a mess.
Okay, here's my breakthrough, and some would say the big breakthrough for Thrasher magazine, heading into modernity, right? Thrasher magazine is the Bible, however, it's had stronger years than others at times. And Geoff invited me on the big trip with his friends to Barcelona with a vicious, vicious dog.
Oh yeah, that was a mess. Yeah, that was a he was shitting everywhere, pissing in the van, pissing in the hotel, pooping in the hotel. It always had poo on its tail.
I'm easily embarrassable from a good home. And we were in a restaurant, and Allie's dog was with us, and he hopped up on a table next to us and ate a steak off of a child's plate. And Alex was like, "Ah, ah, ah." I think I had to go outside. I was so embarrassed. As you can see, the pants were an excellent fit.
I have some pictures from that day too. There's more out in the middle groin area than what you can see right here.
This was a good breaking in. It got me used to other cultures, made me more respectful of the way other people live their lives.
I love Ali. I wish Ali was here right now.
He's amazing. He was so lovable, yet so disgusting.
He's a pain in the ass at times, but he's a great person to be around. Beautiful heart, and incredible skateboarder.
Here's this big thing. I shot a sequence. I had the sequence camera, so I shot a sequence of the whole thing, the 50-50 and the front blunt, but for brevity's sake, we'll put that here. There it is again. In these days, I was shooting with film, but because I got to go with Geoff Rowley, I got unlimited film from Thrasher.
What, hang on?
They would give me boxes of it. Before, I would get like 8 rolls, and I'd have to make them last the month. They gave me boxes and boxes. I was like, look, Jake, these guys are doing some technical stuff. I'm going to need the 20-pack.
Did you mail it all back to them?
Yeah, I had to. But there would be so many bales, you just rip it out like, throw it, and it was more like celebratory, like graffiti. There's Enrique Lorenzo, who showed us around in a quiet, untested skate city called Barcelona. We went to Lyon on that trip. That was fantastic. We went with...
And these are some of the first times people were really starting to delve into different cities in Europe for filming. Because the video right before this one, which is S-Football, which is football comedy, we talk about that because it's real.
Yeah.
Right? They made a great video called Manic Matty right before this, but no one was really filming in the major cities in Europe. And most of the skate videos were in America. Right? So these are the first times you're seeing footage in Barcelona and Lyon and those trips.
It was incredible. It was incredible. So, here's the big one. I had a couple covers before this, but this I count as my first epic cover. And you almost died on this, right?
I don't know about that, but I slammed on it a little bit. Heel bruised a little bit. No, that was you skate stuff like that. Sometimes when you're in the town, you either do it now or you'll never do it. And it was one of them. The run-up's in like a 4-way intersection in the middle of the intersection, so you have to look at cars that way, I'm behind you. Right?
It seemed unreasonable. This didn't seem like something that a person could do. It really didn't. And then he totally committed to it, grinded to the end, the board quarter flipped off, and he stomped it primo. And he's like, ah! And he's like, ah.
Pair of VANS.
Yeah. He's like, well, if I don't do it now, I'm never going to do it. And there it is, my first big cover. Look at us bragging about it. 30 pages. Oh my God.
Can we get 30 pages now?
30 pages. Holy cow. This was a turning point. This was the point when Jake believed in me, trusted me to make the right call, and this is where we kind of turned a corner and went in a direction that kind of has led us to this day. And it's all thanks to people like Geoff Rowley having confidence in me, faith, and really just doing what he does naturally. Thanks, Geoff.
Thank you, Michael.
I got to meet some incredible characters with Geoff, people that I would have never met in my regular life. Very different backgrounds from me, but that are incredible and lovable. Tom and Ali, I got to meet through Geoff, and it was so special to get to meet these guys. So different from me, but the bond of skateboarding brought us together, and it really helped me grow up as a person.
That's the Ali skateboard.
Bilala was half just a crazy creature, half the most delightful, funny, insightful person.
That was a video premiere in Japan.
Yeah.
Right? And we played it in front of everyone, and the video ended. The video was in a room about, I don't know, freaking 8 people wide, 20 back. Video played, no one said a thing. Video ended, everyone left.
They were being
not
polite.
A fucking thing. They flew all the way to Japan and they're just dead.
They didn't know. They didn't want to be impolite. There he is. Look at that blouse flowing. Oh my gosh. Beautiful times.
That was a bad flashback of a trip that doesn't bear mention.
I got to go when they made their big videos. That was a huge thing for me, to get to be on the front lines, and I knew it. I knew it was special. I knew that these guys were doing things that was going to shape the next 15, 20 years of skateboarding, and it felt really good to have that faith. Do you remember what you did at this spot?
Yeah, I took a poop on the roof.
Fun fact,
Before I did that.
a lot of pro skaters, before a very stressful maneuver, instantly have to take a dump. This particular location was built into a mountainside, so one by one, the guys would scurry up there with the pages torn out of the magazine and take a dump on the roof.
That's true?
It's true.
That's terrible.
I got to see this, the sequence camera. I got to see this. Were you the first guy that you ever saw get pulled in with a scooter? I think it was the first time I saw it.
No idea.
I was like, a scooter? Can we do that?
I remember finding that gap and I skated it before. I kickflipped it and I frontside kickflipped before with the run-up. I'm like, man, that's a lot of effort. If I could get pulled and towed, it'd be a lot easier to get more tricks.
Yeah.
But I did that with the scooter, but I skated it without too. I did a backside heel without it.
Life hack.
Yeah.
I shot an ad, very stoked on that.
I wasn't that stoked on that when I did that because we already shot it like a month or two before. I thought we already fucking did this. You know?
What happened? Did I fuck it up?
No, everything. I already did the trick.
Oh,
with
yeah.
you, like 6 months earlier. And I
That's
thought
what
it was the same thing.
I was happy for the $1,000. All right, and then the next thing you know, dun dun dun! Skater of the Year 2000. Let's hear it.
Look how young Jake Phelps looked. Fucking prime.
Like a baby's bottom. What did it mean to you to get Skater of the Year?
I wasn't. Jake called me and said, "Oh, you're Skater of the Year." It made no sense to me. Sorry, I had no idea. Hugely flattering, but the fact that Jake called me and said that was what it meant. That somebody validated my skating from the mag that I looked up to as a kid. You know, I always wanted to be a Thrasher man. Always. It was different. Right? That's what it meant to me. It meant everything to me, man. That's it. And Jake had my back. You know? That's what it meant to me. When Jake made that call, what that said was, Jake validates you, the mag validates you. Right? And that's it. That's it.
Totally. Yeah. Got a lot of friends there with modern technology.
I think my response to it was, oh fuck, now I'm going to have to kill myself. Right.
That was the quote.
Yeah,
That was the quote. I
remember
forgot
it.
about that. Because at the time, the secret reveal of winning Skater of the Year is then you have to go even harder immediately and get an epic cover.
That's what I meant by that, obviously.
All the friends were there. There's some wrestling, some dancing. It was quite a night. And look, I saw this. This was in Carson. They took out a billboard. Viral marketing. I know the location. Carson, California.
For the record, I didn't lay that out.
There it is. He's going to go right into that shoe. All right. Speaking of Jake, what was your relationship with Jake like?
Honest and true and straight. No bullshit. And his favorite band was Motorhead. He loved Lemmy. He loved that whole mentality. And so once I knew that about Jake, it was just eye to eye, and then everything was, it's in the eyes, Jake. You can tell if somebody's fucking gonna rip in their eyes. You can look at them and know they're gonna do it. And that's my relationship with Jake, you know? And the whole time, as much shit people might have said about Jake Phelps over the years, good and bad, negative, positive, the whole way, he was supportive to me, incredibly supportive. He would call me regularly, right? And every time he called me, he wasn't calling me to just shoot the shit. He was calling me to tell me to either get my shit together, right? I needed to get gnarlier, or that something was happening that I needed to know about to keep me on the track, to keep progressing. And I'm not the only person, I think, with that story. But that's what Jake was to me. He was huge. Mental.
It meant a lot to me because Geoff was my guy, just like Cardiel was Jake's guy. So for Geoff and these guys to be my guy and bring him into the fold, it meant the same thing to me. It meant like, I'm part of this. This isn't, I'm not just a day trader.
Thrasher magazine, before Mike moved to Southern California, was lacking. It was lacking. They weren't covering the most progressive side of street skating. When you moved to Southern California and you shot pictures of myself, Jamie Thomas, Andrew Reynolds, Arto Sari, that whole crew, Jim Greco, everybody, that is what you brought to the mag. You brought progression to the magazine, right? That's what you brought. Like that, straight up.
And Jake brought me on with no experience. All I had was enthusiasm, and he put me in the game, and that's my goal now. And don't forget about this, because it's easy to get in your castle and pull up the drawbridge, but the way this thing works is when you spread the love. Push out the jive and spread the love. So reach out to somebody and get them in the game. That's what somebody did for me, that's what somebody did for Geoff.
One thing real quick, is my face is all over this place. Your ego is not your amigo. I have to say that. I have to say that. All right, that's a genuine smile. That's very rare to get that out of me.
And I want to talk about somebody else who's a big inspiration for you, Mr. John Cardiel. What does he mean to you? Let's hear it for John Cardiel.
If you want to start by saying anything about full speed, full commitment, everything, every day, all day, every time he steps on the skateboard, that's what John Cardiel is, right? John Cardiel is anti-hero, to me. That's what anti-hero is, right? It's the fucking raw, never, ever not put it down. I was there that day. I was in Denver. But that's what John is to me, man. Pure inspiration, you know, in the same vein as Jake Phelps. The roarers to ever do it.
You see, we saw this off the side of the freeway in Mexico City. We're like, stop the car. People have skated it since then, but at this point it was like, stop the car. And they're speeding traffic right there. And they're just like, dude, he's like a kid. He's gotta skate it.
I was a fan of John Cardiel from back when he wrote for Black Label and Dogtown before that, right? So I've followed him the whole time.
All right. So this was Geoff's idea of a good time. We're going, we don't know where we're going. We're not getting hotel rooms. We're sleeping in the dirt. So this thing on our heads, that is our blanket.
That's a bubble wrap.
That's a bubble wrap. That's Molly, Ewan, and is that Tommy?
That's my friend Barry Wong.
Barry Wong. This was the To the Woods trip. How'd that taste?
Pretty tasty, but that's Frank Goer in the background.
Yeah, Frank was down.
And Ewan filmed, Ewan's right here somewhere.
Oh, he's here.
But that trip, we didn't stay in a hotel, as you said, right? We slept forever. We slept on the semi. We slept in school parking lots. We slept in bushes in the desert.
And make no mistake, at this point, Geoff was a homeowner. Like this was strictly for theatrics.
No, actually, I just wanted to camp the whole time, but I had to convince you guys.
You wanted to camp without camping equipment. So it was Frank's birthday. We went to Boot Barn in Phoenix and got him a beautiful, beautiful cowboy shirt. However, it was about 100 degrees, so eventually this was all that was left of the birthday cowboy shirt.
Nipple flaps.
It was still a very happy birthday. We checked into a motel in Tucson.
Hang on one second. Jake Franklin. Can you hear me? Jake, right here. That next picture. One second, Mike. Right here. You know what that is? Jake Franklin. Yep. Do you know where that is? 29 Palms.
We checked into a hotel. We get into the room and Jeff's like, I'm fucking off it. Yeah, we're out of here. I don't like it. So we drove through the night when the sun was coming. This is not sun down. This is sun up. We find a skate park on the side of the road at 29 Palms. And he's like, it's perfect.
No, I knew where I was going. You just didn't know it. I knew where I was going. I did a demo for the opening of that skate park. It's in the Joshua Tree Valley, 29 Palms, with Ed Templeton, Jeremy Ray, Pat Chinito, and Matt Hensley. And I knew where it was.
I wake up and he's like, we're here, we made it. We get out the flashes, we start skating. Those are Frank's birthday balloons. And so we would hit the road, and this was before GPS, this was before smartphones. What did you used to do? You used to have these maps marked
I had
up.
Thomas guides. I had every spot in Southern California marked out in the Thomas guide with notes and the whole thing. If you want to know a spot, I can find it. But I have to map it up.
Pen and ink. We are old. Then eventually you got a place out in the woods, out in the desert. This is, you staked your claim out there outside of Williams.
I lived in Arizona for about 9 months on and off. Northern Arizona, and kind of on the Coconino Plateau, and wanted to build skate ramps out there and do all the things that you're telling me that I was doing to you, right?
Full time.
Taking you camping without sleeping bags. I wanted to be able to do that every single day. And then I met the woman of my dreams.
Amazing. Yeah, let's hear it for that. Wild animals out there.
Yeah, I had 3 ferrets to all tame.
He introduced me to a lot of wild places in California that I didn't even know existed. That's you.
I thought that was someone else.
That's you. There you are. Pixelated. So why were you always, I asked Geoff, I was like, why do you always want to go to the ditches? Why do you want to go to the desert? He's like, I'm from Liverpool, England. We don't have anything like this.
And I got tired of getting kicked out of handrails.
Yeah. So
Truly.
you got to understand that at this point, there was rules about what was acceptable terrain for pro skaters. Geoff broke those rules, and next thing you know, it's Ditch City. People are exploring every ditch around the world. Ooh, that was insane terrain. Everywhere we go, we're going to ditches, and next thing you know, we're running into other skaters in ditches.
Eric Dressen. That was for you.
That's the Crail Snap, Eric P.
That's actually for you.
We went around, next thing you know, we're not getting kicked out of handrails, we're sweeping. We all had brooms. There he is, off the top rope.
Federal land full of hippies, squatters, Slab City.
Payne. There he is. We drove out there, he got splattered, we drove home. Remember that?
Yep, another slam, another day.
Digging out an entire riverbed. That's standard. There we go. This was a spot with no run-up, and we got there and I was like, there's no run-up. He's like, yeah, but it's sick, right? And he figured out how to get onto this
That's a Jeremy Ray spot.
with absolutely no push.
That's a Jeremy Ray spot.
There's a lot of things where I would, now I know better, but I would be like, what are we doing here? This is crazy. And then Geoff would figure it out.
It's just trying to find different stuff to skate, right? There's no run-up.
Over and over again.
No run-up or too much run-up.
I don't doubt him anymore. Classic terrain, there's Derby before people skated the gap.
You have a picture of your haircut that day, Mike? You had a full perm that day.
Yeah, that was my
full
perm days. The band Oasis was very influential. Okay, let's tell this story. The cops are coming. Okay, we're on the roof. The guy yelled at us, the cops are coming. 20 minutes go by, the cops are still coming. And I'm like, Geoff, I think I'm gonna go. Kurt Hayashi's already in the car. I'm like, Kurt,
what is it? I skated this roof gap and I landed the trick pretty quick but snapped the board, like right away.
yeah.
Like that, right? And so I had to set up a board really quick while the guy was screaming at us, but I was already on the roof and it was deadline for a video and I needed to get the trick. I was willing to get arrested for whatever it takes.
No, on a roof with all your flashes out and the cops are coming is a very interesting feeling. I recommend it to anybody.
I can't go anywhere near La Habra.
Yeah. Stay out of La Habra, Lebowski. And there it is. Dun, dun, dun. And there it is. I couldn't believe it.
You left, right? And Chris Gregson, who's here tonight, stayed with me on the roof. I think I begged Chris real quick. Chris, can you please stay? Please stay, Chris, please, for like 2 minutes, please stay. I've got a disco. And Chris stayed on the roof, and so thank you, Chris. We both got arrested
Chris.
together.
Fun.
It was awesome. We did, what, 9 hours in the cell?
Locked up. Lawsuits.
$22,000
All
later.
water under the bridge. Geoff went on King of the Road
I had
once.
to give the state of California my DNA to get away with that.
It was going to happen eventually anyway. Geoff went on King of the Road. There's Eric Dress in the middle. This is the Dave Duncan Challenge. Okay, so already Geoff's a made man. King of the Road is complete nonsense garbage. Are you down, Geoff? Of course I'm down. He's down! I couldn't believe it. We went. There's a dark slide. St. Louis. In the room. On the couch.
Let's be honest. Was I drunk the whole time?
I mean, you were relaxed. I can't say. I don't judge.
What was I drinking?
I don't know.
Whiskey.
And then, of course, a special moment. That was my last trip. There's Shane Cross, blunt sliding to heaven. There he is right there. A beautiful soul. And I was another person through Geoff I was lucky enough to get to meet. And so special. And you don't realize it when it's happening, but then afterwards, you're like, I can't believe how special it was to get to know that person. And that was another friend, another memory that I got through my relationship with Geoff who gave me a chance. Let's hear it for Shane Cross, everybody. Let's hear it for Ewan Bowman. What does it mean to have a filmer who will go to the ends of the earth for you, Geoff?
Ewan's the hardest working filmer in the industry. I love Ewan. That's it. I've known Ewan since I was 15, 16 years old. He used to ride for VANS. Now he works for Thrasher as a photographer, but he made a lot of the flip videos and a bunch of other videos.
It takes a
It's
village.
dedicated, like as a skater, you head down, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do this. Right now, right now. You gotta be there too. You ain't there, I'm leaving. He's always there. I love you. Thank you, Ewan.
Thank you, Ewan. Okay, this subject, we'll go through this fast. This is skateboarding is a job. You're very good with the public, by the way. It gets into those long hours. There's some more of that hands-on marketing.
That was on the To the Woods tour.
Yeah.
So we did a sign in
There he is.
not stay in the hotel for weeks.
We call this haircut lights out.
I call it a mop top.
Yeah. In Japan, making the best of it. Sometimes, yeah, you gotta stay awake for that call, that last call to the lady, late at night, in the van. Yeah, honey. No, we're almost there. V1s off the wall. That's fun. Demo time. Sometimes it gets rowdy at night. There'll be some late nights. Some early call mornings occasionally. That was your 30th birthday, by the way.
Oh, yeah. Off the record, that was brutal.
Pain. Let's talk about pain. Personal pain. There it is. Never see the sausage getting made.
I don't know.
There it is. All the colors of the rainbow. The thing that I like about Geoff, though, is he would hurt himself on purpose just for fun. Ollie and the thing on the banana board, straight to skid, extreme skid. And then here, this is the last trick of the video. Not the last trick, but the last trick you tried. How does it feel to dive to your face at 42?
Well, it's good for a split second till you hit. Then it sucks balls. I don't know.
I can fly, but only down. We went back to England for this one. This is stuff from the video.
Why would they film the Clockwork Orange movie?
Yeah.
Kubrick.
Why was it important for you to go back to England
Because
for
they
this
filmed the
video?
Clockwork Orange.
Check. Some classic Crete. Some rough terrain. Then I want to talk why. So your co-stars in this video are Ronnie Sandoval and Pedro Barras. Why did you pick these guys? There's Ronnie.
If I could skate like anybody on DIY, well, that's how I'd want to skate. If I could skate on the vert ramp, that's how I'd want to skate. And both of them I feel have that same fucking raw approach, right? Yeah, I feel a connection to those guys, and that's why. We're gonna no-brainer.
Yeah. We're going to cheer for him in a second, but let's hear it for Pedro Barros and Ronnie Sandoval. These guys, Ronnie broke his kneecap in half, what, 6 months ago? 9 months ago?
We filmed this video in less than 11 months or something like that, and we lost a couple of friends in the process. We had a lot of bad slam, but Ronnie actually completely smashed his whole kneecap 2 months into filming the video. And so 6-8 months later, full video part, pretty fucking gnarly, if you ask me.
Geoff Rowley asked these guys, and these guys stepped up in such a huge way. I was lucky to see it. You're going to see it in a second. Let's talk about Ryan Lovell, everybody. What was it like to work on this project with Ryan?
It was easy, man. Honestly, where is Ryan?
He's right there.
Where? You want to come over here?
Yeah, let's hear it. There he is. Kansas City's finest, Ryan Lovell. Let's hear it.
It was easy working with you, Ryan. It was easy. That's it. Straight up. Every day you were there, right? Including when I almost killed myself a few weeks ago. Right. It's been a rough year, but I had a blast skating. I had a lot more fun skating this last year than I had in a long time. I appreciate it.
All right, so let's see this fella in the hat. That's how we're all going to feel right now, because we're about to watch the new video. What's it called?
Take it back.
Take It Back, starring Geoff Rowley, Ryan Lovell, Pedro Barros, and Ronnie Sandoval. But Ryan's going to say a few words. I want to thank everybody for listening to this slideshow. I love photos. I love jokes. We got a few other guys talking. I'm jumping the gun.
Yeah, the big guys, dude.
Oh, we got done. All right. But thank you very much. And thank you to VANS for having me. Thank you to
Forget
Geoff.
about El Presidente, dude, and like the
incredible year.
ambassador of fun, you'd be in big trouble.
Thanks, everybody.